Hi, kids. Why's the bucket back there? Oh, we had to set up the camera for Percival here. So, last week, Percival was kind of bagging on the trauma a little bit. And after the show, he admitted to me that he's never seen any of these Mercedes the Muse films. So, isn't that right?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So, I made Percival watch every single Mercedes the Muse film that we have reviewed. And what do you have to say now?
Yes, well, I suppose it's no secret that I have quite a crush on Mercedes the Muse, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I agree.
She's just ravishing and quite stunning. Such a brilliant talent, and such a pleasure to have her on my show.
That's better. Okay. Have you seen this week's shows?
This is Harold Bigelow. I am contacting you from the other realm. I still wish for you to stop your ridiculous show. Please stop all the propaganda that you started about me. There are things you will never understand. This is the voice of Harold Bigelow. You should be very frightened at the sound of my voice alone. You should obey my every command.
What's going on here?
Listen to me, so-called clown. There are things your tiny brain will never grasp.
What are you talking about, Percival? What's wrong with your voice?
It's best that you leave my daughter out of this, or any of my family members. If you know what's good for you, and Monkey as well.
Are you okay, buddy? Did you go get radiated again under the house?
Just remember, I have people on your side of the realm who can control you. I'll see you in your darkest dreams. Don't ever try to contact me with one of your sideshow seances or your false soothsayers. I am real.
With that, we'll be right back. Well, as soon as I get my glove off here. I don't know what's going on with Percival. Hi, kids. That was a little spooky, wasn't it? What's going on here? Where's the top of my head? Got a little spooky. It's like Harold spoke to us from beyond the grave. far as I know, Harold's not even in a grave. Right over there at the OME. That's what they say in these parts. Office of the Medical Examiner. Okay, let's get the ball rolling. So last night, I'm drinking tall drinks with lots of ginger ale. I had the one with the Bigfoot highball, with the gin, and you squeeze the little orange in there, fill it up with ginger ale and a sprig of fresh thyme. I had a couple of those, and I had a couple of El Diablos with a couple of shots of tequila and the creme de cassis and the squeezed the lime in there and ginger ale. So I had these tall drinks last night because it was hot as hell. And now, today, it cooled off. I don't know what the hell happened. Clouded up, and I took Sabrina some food, and we were kind of like cold out there. Okay. Tonight, it's Amazing Astounding Night on the Late Night Picture Show. And our first picture is The Amazing Mr. X. Look at that poster. Suave. His eyes. In his eyes, the threat of terror. In his hands, the power to destroy. Turhan Bay. Lynn Barry. B-A-R-I. Kathy O'Donnell. Okay, that just hit me. That was rude. Amazing Mr. X, 1948, Samba Pictures. Is that a big studio? We're going to have to look this up. Or did they were created just to make this movie? That would not surprise me. Memories of Vegas. So I'm seeing on the Instagram, they're already starting to tear down the older parts of the Tropicana to build their fucking baseball diamond. I suppose in October they'll have a big to-do when they implode the towers, but they're already tearing down the wedding chapel where Josie and I got married, and tearing down out the pool, with the bar, it's swim-up bar. And the older garden rooms where I like to stay, frankly. Anyway. Directed by Bernard Voorhouse. Starring, I wrote here that Carol Landis was just a little indisposed, so we ended up with Lynn Barry. There's this widow, Christine. Coulda, woulda, but Barry. And her sis living in this elaborated beach house. That's not even a word. I might have been intoxicated when I wrote this up. Which looks more like a museum or observatory. Anywho, Christine is the widow of 2 years, and she's a little wonky in the head. She starts hearing voices, namely that of her husband Paul, her deceased husband Paul, outside her window. What better way to deal with voices, hearing voices outside your window, than to go outside and walk on the beach by yourself? I mean, that's what I would do if I was hearing voices. I'd go outside and just walk around, see if I can, find the source of the voices. One day, while doing just that, she stumbles on a little dinghy and then a talking crow. I wrote a song about a talking crow. I wrote here, perhaps the source of the voices? And then a kind gentleman named Alexis. Not like Alexis Arquette, but more like a low-budget Clark Gable. Well, you saw him on the poster. with his pencil-thin mustache. My ice broke. So, this guy looks a little more like a movie star than he does a psychic. Oh, but don't worry. Later in the movie, he dons a turban, you know, to like live up to the stereotype. Maybe it's because his name is Turhan. I wrote here, okay, all you Star Trek geeks, Turhan Bey, minor star in the 40s, comeback in the 90s. I am assuming he's not a household name, but I'm assuming that I must have read that Turhan Bey was in the 90s, Next Generation maybe. Not real Star Trek with Captain Kirk and Spock. Okay, let's get back to the movie. I'm wandering tonight. Nutty Christine keeps hearing her dead husband's voice, so her sister, whose name I don't recall and I didn't write it down, goes to see Kreskin, or Alexis. And meanwhile, the Fuzz is on to Alexis, and they're investigating him for conning little old ladies out of their life savings. Now, I know it's hard to imagine. The guy's a psychic and a con man? What? Unheard of. But could he be wearing a wire under that turban? Turhan? Wow. That's not even carbonated. I'm like erping up. The plot does get more complicated, but by then, I just didn't really care what happened to anyone in this movie. I just wanted to see it end so that I could watch Dr. G like cut somebody up or something like that. Remember Dr. G? I'd say her name, but there was a reason they called her Dr. G, because nobody can say her name. So was this entirely awful? No. Just slow-moving and tedious. It had plot twists, it had blackmail, it had funny 40s dialogue. Just far from being a great picture. Like, say, well, that might have been 1950, but X, A Man with X-Ray Eyes. This one should have been called The Boring Mr. X. So, I'm going to give this movie 1. It's a one-ring circus. We're going all the way back to the beginning of the circus. 1 tent, 1 ring. So, now be sure and join us for feature 2. Maybe it will be better. Are you okay, Percival? Can you talk? Well, let's all go to the lobby. And, yeah, by the time I make sure that this recorded all right, this will be gone and we'll make another one.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.